Hi, greetings from me. This is Sibi presenting before you a machine learning project which we learned from Skyfire Labs. I'm partnered with Santosh and Naveen. This project is a price predicting one. There are Boston housing data present in a sklearn dataset. First and the foremost, we import all the required libraries such as NumPy, Pandas and Matplot library. We import data and their functions from sklearn. We also import HTML to display the plot in a video format. Step 1 is load our data. We load it using this command, Boston is equal to load underscore Boston of. And when we print it using boston.descr, we get all the attributes which are basically the columns in the dataset. You can see all the attributes present here: crim, zn, indus, chas, nox, rm, age, dis, rat, tax, pt ratio, b, lstat and medv. We then assign the target, which is the price we need to predict. We use data frame object present in Pandas library, and here we assign the features column from Boston data to the features data frame and print to see the results. You can see the results in the form of a table with all the 13 columns present. We hereby get some 506 rows and 13 columns. When we need to print a particular column, we can use features of. Say for example, NOx represents the nitric oxide levels, and when we print features of NOx, we get this. Next, we assign the target, which is the price to be predicted, and we can use the data frame objects in Pandas library to assign the target column. And when we print it, we get this result, the column of targets. We can also use max and min functions to print the maximum and minimum. Max function returns the maximum of a given set of values, and min function returns the minimum from a given set of values. We then try to concatenate the target value to our data set. Axis is equal to 1 represents columns will be concatenated. Axis equal to 0 will concatenate rows. Here we use axis equal to 1 so that our target column is concatenated along to the data set. When we need to describe the data set, we can use the describe function, which basically returns the count, the average, the standard deviation, the min and max scores, and the percentiles of 25, 50 and 75. When we use round of decimals is equal to 2, we get the data with maximum decimal points being 2. That is, after decimal you at most get 2 values. We'll find the correlation between the target value and the functions. Correlation is the dependency of the target with respect to some of the other columns present in the dataset. When we say correlation is 0, it means that the column we are concerned with doesn't have any impact on the target variable. When we say correlation is positive, it means that when the column increases, the target also increases. When we say correlation is negative, it means that when a particular variable decreases, the target variable also decreases. Next, we go for data visualization. Here we find the correlation between the target value and the features. When we say a variable and target is negatively correlated, it means when the variable decreases, the target value increases. When the variable increases, the target decreases. When we say correlation is 0, it means that the variable does not have an impact on the target. When we say correlation is positive, it means that whenever the variable increases, so does the target, and vice versa. Here we are using Pearson's correlation. We'll obtain absolute values for every attribute in the list and set them in the list with features and correlation value. We sort them and zip again, and here we can use matplot library to plot the graph. Here's the data. Since we used absolute function, every data here is positive, that is, it's above x-axis. Next we go for normalization of data. Here we use x as LSTAT and y as target. Normalization use min-max scalar. Now we reshape it. It's just because fit transform can only take vertical data. Next we go for splitting of data. Here we split the data into training set and next we go for normalization of data. Here we use LSTAT feature as x and the target column as y. We can then normalize the data using min-max scalar and create an instance. We also use fit transform function and reshape it. Because the fit transform function only allows vertical data, we have to use it, and then we can use slicing to change it back. Splitting the data. Here we split the data into 20% test data and 80% training data. Hence we apply this. Next we go for some functions. We define some kind of cost function. Here we are using mean squared error function to obtain 3 functions and it will run. We'll define error and find the mean squared error. We'll use this update function to update the m and c slope for the linear regression equation using update function. And we'll define gradient descent function in which we can use number of iterations and check for the error every time m updates. After the error is less than threshold, we can break out of the loop and then save all our values and return the final m and c value for the prediction. Here we set learning rate as 0.001 and call the gradient descent function. We can then plot the graph for the same with blue as dataset color and red for the line. We can clearly see that the slope of the line is negative because the attribute which we chose had a negative value, that is, LSTAT had a negative value in the dataset. we can clearly see that over iterations the error decreases and becomes constant from almost 100 to 250. Next, we visualize the model. We visualize it using HTML. Here we can clearly see a video that plays. This is done using HTML. You can see in this video that all model ranges, it checks, and the regression curve changes according to which MNC change. And now we can get the predicted values using the y is equal to mx plus c, the standard equation of a line in linear regression, which is this. We can then get the mean squared error as 0.015. Now we get the target predicted. When we use absolute function, there's no negative value in the attributes, but when we do not use that, you see what happens. You can clearly see that almost more than half of the attributes have negative values, and we can see that the most positively correlated attribute is RM and the most negatively correlated attribute is LSTAT. Now if we change LSTAT to RM, and run this again, we get this output. You can clearly see that the slope of this line is positive because we had a positive data. And the error is 0.02. Again, when we change RM to, say for example, DIS, we get another curve. You can see that the slope is almost positive, is positive in fact. Here the mean squared error is 0.40, which is approximately 3 times the original one, the LSTAT one which we did. And at last we predict the following, and here we get the predicted data. Thanks for watching.